meant to be a speed. Let me actually start my presentation. It's a speed learning on using values-based marketing in the local direct industry. And so basically it's meant to help you with both background information and knowledge, and then with a worksheet and a spreadsheet that you can use to do your own planning. So I started creating this a couple of years ago because there's these common marketing challenges in the industry. I think because most people are entrepreneurial who are selling local direct. And I think marketing can make, and also that a lot of people that produce are introverted, like me. And so you can get overwhelmed and stressed or feel stuck or, pressured to do a lot of work around a website and community building and social media. And no one has time. And it's hard to know if the work you're doing on all those things is actually rewarding you with sales. And there's also a lot of sales channels choices, tech choices, and learning curves. So I put together this, actually, you also may dislike or procrastinate around marketing because of all those things. And then you may have hesitancy about the premium nature of your product. So I put together this presentation to actually address all of those things. So it'll be a really quick kind of knowledge dump on values-based marketing, being customer-centric, which is uncommon in the industry to date, but super helpful. And then a competition mindset that fits the values of the industry, and then a premium product mindset, so that you can kind of fully embrace the premium nature of your product. And so I offer a recipe. So there's like a primer on the knowledge, and then a recipe for identifying your sales channel goals for whatever your sales channels happen to be, choosing a promotion approach to reach those goals, and taking a minimalistic approach to it so it's not overwhelming, and then planning your messaging. The idea is to make marketing pleasurable and effective without wasting time. So starting at the beginning, why do customers buy product from producers who sell direct instead of from the supermarket? And I believe the reason is that they're getting goods plus the values with which the goods were produced and the intent around it. So basically, values-based marketing is the act of sparking interest in your business or product. I think of it as sales and customer attraction. And when you integrate values into your product, your pricing, your promotion, and how you distribute, it's your customers' values that you're integrating in, which are aligned with your business's values. Then it's very attractive to customers. Once customers know that you're really meeting their values, they feel happy, they feel loyal, they'll buy more from you. So starting with competition. So conventional food sources have been a source of serious problems for a long time. They, present problems for the environment. They present social health problems. They present problems with food security and with farmer profits. And local direct systems are the antidote to all of that. And the demand for local food is enormous. So in 2019, there was a poll that said 47% of people polled said that they highly prioritized buying local food. In that, close to that same year, the total food sales in the US was $1,800 billion. So if you said roughly, 47% of those people want to buy local. That would be $900 billion worth of food that is roughly available for buying local. And farmers markets in close to that same year brought in $1 billion. So the way I see it is there's something like $900 billion of food money could go to local direct sales. People highly value it, and a couple of billion is actually going there. So with that in mind, a values-based mindset for competition would be that as a local producer, you're providing a preferable substitute to conventionally sourced foods. And then collaboration is desperately needed. And I know it's in place, but this is like a values-based justification for why collaboration is so important, is that we desperately need our local economies to thrive and grow. So it's in everyone's best interest to collaborate with and support and grow those. It's not a lack. There doesn't need to be competition in local direct economies. There just needs to be, and as those economies grow, more and more people can shop locally. So it's better for each producer, because you're getting, as you're helping your fellow local direct producers, you're getting more and more sales yourself. So I talked about competition first because the values that local direct producers typically serve, it helps to think with them, with respect to the values that conventional sourcing serves. So conventional systems were set up around the values of convenience and low cost. And then over time, as local systems, started really working on their values, the conventional systems kept adopting the terms. So the term local is an example where the conventional grocery stores all say they sell local food. So part of this values-based method is to really put the values in terms where they can't be appropriated by the conventional system. So I've actually categorized them into 3 categories. There's goods values, social values, and environmental values. And there's 2 kind of queen values, which are freshness and trust. And these values, conventional alternatives have no way of out-delivering on freshness and trust if you have those as a local direct producer. When you think about freshness, the fact that your customers can buy very close to harvest, or if you're producing, jam out of local fresh fruit, that the jam was made close to harvest. A conventional outlet can't, actually they could sell your jam, but they can't provide that kind of freshness on perishable goods. And then from freshness, some of the other values, flavor, nutrition, and the aesthetics of the product all come along with freshness. And then even more important is trust. So once your business has established trust with your customer base and the community, that people expect, that people believe you have integrity, then all of your other values are more believable than any other conventional alternative can provide, because people are buying direct from you. It's a relationship based and community based. So I believe those are the 2 most important values to kind of tend. And then there's local only values that conventional alternatives can't deliver. So when they're saying they're doing local, that's fine, but I think it's important for us to say specifically, what does that mean? So there's things like food sovereignty, having local control over your food that local systems only have the ability to supply. There's food security, the growing of diverse things that are appropriate, that are area appropriate, can only be really addressed really well by local systems. producers getting to keep most of the profits is addressed best by local direct. Local community building and local economy building can't really be done by the conventional system. And then the customer being able to reduce their carbon footprint is best done by a local direct sale as well. So the idea here is to actually communicate the specifics around this instead of just saying local.
Heidi, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if you have slides and you weren't able to before, share them. You should be able to now.
Oh, I thought I was sharing them. Thank you. Thank you so much. And actually, I'm going to reshare a resources document for everyone that has a worksheet to do marketing planning, and it has let's see, for some reason, let me see if I can. Okay, so that's the worksheet. You can bookmark that and use it at any time, but it has a worksheet to do marketing planning that should take you less than an hour and should be really helpful. I'm showing it right here. It lets you it helps you define your customer values that your business serves, and then gives, there's a second spreadsheet that gives you example messaging that you can just rip off that I created, and I got help from a farmer's market manager in California and some, help from other people. So you can just take those messages and customize them to your business, or use them as inspiration to think up better messages. And then there's a bunch of offers for free help. I have an app that helps with values-based marketing. It's called the Farm Board, and that's for free through this year. And then it's normally $60 a year for a producer. If there's any market managers or hubs or co-ops on here, you can sign up off of this page to talk to me about potentially using the app, because the app will actually curates information across vendors for farmers markets and hubs. And then I also offer free one-on-one marketing assistance. So that's all on what I just shared. And let me see if I can share my screen now.
Yeah, so just make sure that it's selected on your desktop. So when you hit share screen, you select the actual presentation and not the whiteboard.
Yeah, this is kind of, hopefully this will work. It doesn't give me a desktop option like it normally does, but I'm going to just share the
there you go
browser that I have. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm showing that you should be able to open up that document. If you can't, let me know. And then let me get to the page I'm on. So I was just showing all these really meaty slides that you couldn't see. So this is a typical list of values that local direct producers, especially farmers, might provide. And this is a list of values that's roughly in that spreadsheet I shared with you. So you can come up with other values that are specific to your business, but use this to kind of speed up your process of communicating about these values. So I was just about to talk about regenerative values that you serve. So if you do serve regenerative values, the conventional alternatives, so I think that conventional systems are going to start talking regenerative, if they haven't already, really quickly in the next couple of years. Just like they all say they sell local, they're all going to be selling regeneratively grown product. So again, it's important to basically call out the specific values that regenerative are supporting, that and to talk about why, what it is that your business is doing around regeneration. So it's like, maybe an example would be, that it's a farm that does no-till, and you can say that no-till not only conserves water, but it improves the soil biome, which means you get better flavor, nutrition, health, and more beautiful products. And it contributes to healing our planet. It's the one, human done thing that, will actually reverse climate change, that if every farmer was doing regenerative practices, we could be carbon neutral. So it's like putting together a couple sentences to describe what you're doing, relating it to the word regenerative, but making sure you describe it in terms that regular shoppers can understand, and using the idea behind these values is to use them as part of your promotion, that they make a really nice subject to promote your product on. So the next question, so those are all these amazing value set that local direct systems have. And then, why does somebody shop at a supermarket instead of at your farm or business? And the answer is convenience and cost. It's what conventional systems, went after. And conventional alternatives can always outcompete on convenience and cost. So the idea with these is to mitigate that. So I think I might have, sorry, my slides kind of are a little bit, sorry you missed half of it, but so premium product, which is what every local direct producer must sell, because you can't compete with conventional systems, is defined by goods plus the values with which you serve the goods with. So customers, to get premium product, will they'll do a lot. They'll take a lot of convenience. They won't care so much about variety and quantity. They know that they know how local systems work, and they'll take limitations on access to get those premium products. But you can actually easily improve convenience to attract more sales by telling your customers what they can get from you. And this is actually what my product was designed for. It's basically online availability. You give customers real-time availability of what they can get from you, where and when they can get it, and what the price is. And I'll go a little bit more into why I think price needs to be shared. But if you just do this, if you just say this is what you can get locally, it radically increases sales. And that is because you're serving the value of convenience. If people don't know what they can get, it's a mystery shopping. And so at farmers markets, what that looks like is often it looks like treat buys, because people can't rely on actually shopping there when they don't know what they can get, unless they're a super special kind of person that has the personality to do that. If you share what's available at your farm stand or at the farmer's market or anywhere else, then people can plan around it. So the goal with values-based marketing is to attract customers who are seeking the values you're serving and not casting your net for commodity customers. So it's like a differentiation between these premium products and commodity. So your ideal customer is one that knows the value of your products already. They love to buy from you because of that. And then there's a whole bunch of people out there in the public that don't understand the value of your products. They don't know about them. But if they did, they would want them. They would move into the green cloud. And then there are people who they value cost and convenience over other values. And you're not trying to attract those customers. Those are classic conventional system customers. But as I said, 47% should be in these first two categories. So there's a lot of people out there to buy your product. This is kind of a repeat of what I said a few minutes ago, that a commodity is your goods plus low cost and convenience values, and then your premium product is goods that have they have goods values, social values, environmental values, and that those are priority to the people that are buying them. So pricing your pricing for premium products. Even if you grew carrots last year that were amazing, and this year there was weird weather things and they don't taste as good, you're still delivering a whole bunch of other values to people. They remain premium. So this should help for people who get premium hesitancy based. You don't want to just consider the quality of the good you're growing. You know, that's not always going to be the same. People want to buy from you because they want to contribute to a healthier environment in their own health, etc. So there's, you know, you're promoting to attract sales and or customers. So for consumer sales, you know, there's consumer sales and intermediary sales that I am discussing here. For consumer sales, there's what you want to do is just first define your goal. And this is in the worksheet. So this is the first part of the worksheet. So for each sales channel, so a consumer sales channel might be a farm stand or some farmers markets or what have you. You want to decide if you're increasing sales to existing customers in an existing channel. So you have a farm stand, you want to attract more people, or you're a farmers market vendor, you want to attract more people. That's actually the easiest sales attraction that you can do. Sorry, I didn't mean to say you want to attract more people. You want to attract your customers to buy more sales than they currently are. So it's the same customers. So these people already know about your business, and the best thing you can do to attract them is just make sure you give them good availability information of where, when, and what they can buy. And that actually causes people to buy more if they're not already, you know, getting that information. And another thing that people do is, you know, do things like provide recipes to intrigue those existing customers. And then if your goal is to attract new customers in the existing channel, then it makes sense to, you know, update your signage and do announcements of up-to-date goods availability information of where, when, and how to buy. So that's actually a good case for social media. Whereas like the first case, if you just want to get the low-hanging fruit of selling more to your current customers, an email list and text works best for that. And then attracting new customers using social media and updated signage and announcements to attract. And then the last category is to attract customers in a new channel. So you're adding a channel. So maybe you have a farm stand, but you're going to a farmer's market. And it's basically the same things as for consumers, it's doing the same things as you would do in an existing channel. And you can also add your business to local directories. So for intermediaries, it works differently. And I believe this is, you know, like sales goals. This is part of the complexity that can happen in this industry, is that there's a lot of options. But for intermediaries, which would be, you know, selling to a restaurant, selling to a school, selling to a hub, a local hub, or co-op, or a caterer, those kinds of things. I believe the best thing you can do is have an email list and share your availability list there. To attract new customers into one of those channels, it takes a relationship in most cases. So it has to be phone and email and arrange a visit and then share your availability again. And attracting customer in a new channel, same thing. You know, contacting the local businesses that you know that you want to sell to, and arranging a visit and then sharing your availability. You can see that intermediary promotion is actually easier, I think, than doing consumer promotion when you're trying to do a new channel. So one real quick thing on websites. Websites aren't promotional in the sense, what they are is, I think of them as an aid, a promotional aid for attracting sales. So if they're I believe if a website isn't up to date, let me back up. Websites share information about product, and they help establish credibility. So for those two things, if it's not up to date, it's bad. It's bad for both. You're degrading your credibility if it's not up to date, and trust, and then if it's not up to date in terms of product information, it's just degrading your sales. So I actually believe if you don't have the time and energy to keep it up to date, it would be better to get rid of it. There's other ways to share information. But if you do, it can be very short. It just needs to include the values you serve, basically the availability information. I outline in line what our app does. You can put it straight on a website as long as you want to keep your website up to date, instead of using our app, or use our app, and it's easier to keep it up to date. And then from a credibility perspective, there's just a few short things you can add too. So if you're having problems keeping your website up to date, you could just reduce the information that's on there, clean it up, and basically just provide these two things: product information and credibility information. So credibility you can build with a short business story, the history of your business, and a few photos. And then if you're motivated, adding on testimonials or blogs or social media icons is good. But the main reason why I brought this up is that I think it's just I would really recommend to keep it up to date, or get rid of it. Online sales, there's a lot of pressure to do online sales, but online sales actually solves the same problems as conventional systems do, which is that it makes things convenient. It's the most convenient buying, and it makes it really easy to cost compare. So it actually aligns really well with conventional shoppers. It actually it impedes some of the values that people who want to buy local direct are looking for. So people tend to intensely care about their food, and they enjoy seeing and choosing what they're buying, who are into local direct sourcing. And also, it doesn't help people to sign up to a specific app to buy before they pick up. It's adding inconvenience, actually, that kind of model. And people who are very invested in their food don't want perishables delivered if the freshness is compromised. And then as an intermediates don't want to sign into an app to buy product online unless it's somehow truly helping them. So I think that the point of this slide was just thinking about your customers, and if you're doing something because it seems like it should help, but it's not actually helping them, I would recommend not doing it. I actually think online sales is kind of a last. It's much easier to sell more to your current customers than it is to do online sales. And then, so this is just an example of how you could promote with values. You could, if you were a farm or a ranch, you could say the best way to trust that you're sourcing fresh, flavorful, nutritious, and toxin-free ingredients is to source direct from local trusted community farms. So you're giving a little educational snippet there, and you're including freshness in there. And, then saying, we would love to be one of your trusted farms. And then you can do things like, the Rodale Institute has these really nice little graphics you can include. So like if you said, see what regenerative or naturally or organic, pastured, et cetera, grown food we have available, they can click on that and see your up-to-date availability, whatever you want in there. This is another example with the Rodale Institute little graphics that they provide as a media kit. So this one is, that 100% of CO2 emissions could be sequestered if everybody was regenerative. And then you can say, see what regenerative foods we have to sell.
You have about 10 minutes left, just to let you know, Heidi.
Okay. I think I'm close to done. Okay. So when customers know that you're aligning, that you're serving their values, they just become, that is relationship building. They become grateful and connected and loyal and feel totally good about paying a premium. One comment from Wendy was talking about supporting all the amazing community support for people who have economic challenges or low income. And so she was listing these ways in, like with the WIC and SNAP and Double Up Food Bucks programs at the farmers markets, you can still support people across the spectrum of income levels with the community supporting it without you having to, as a producer, to take the financial hit for that. So I think it's kind of an amazing thing that the local industry has set up. Is sort of community, a really good network of community funded, amazingly premium food for people who have income challenges. So in summary, values-based marketing applies customer values to your product, your pricing, and your promotion. Premium product is goods plus values, and premium pricing is appropriate for premium products. And I think with that all, we can take a look at this. I'll just explain this resources sheet. So this do-it-yourself planning worksheet it should take less than an hour. Maybe it could be half an hour. And it'll just walk you through some multiple choice matrix questions so that you can really quickly define some sales goals for yourself, and then promotional approaches, and then go on to plan your marketing content, which is in this second document here. And then, like I was saying earlier, there's these other free resources where you can, I love to help individual producers in any way. And if I could help you work through this faster or in any way in your marketing, I would love to be contacted. So with that, let's open it up for questions or comments or thoughts.
Thank you so much, Heidi. I actually have a question about the Double Up Food Bucks. Now, does that mean that like $1 is actually $2 when it comes to shopping locally for people?
Yeah. So I have kind of a light understanding of it. So anyone else correct me, but if you have WIC or SNAP benefits, you can go to the farmers market, and you yes, for every dollar you spend on your WIC or SNAP, you get an extra dollar worth of food, and it's publicly funded. So the farmer is still selling at their premium prices.
Oh, wow, that's excellent.
It's awesome.
Yeah, cool. Any other questions for Heidi?
I actually have one thing to add to that as well, which is that it's easy to want to support people who have income challenges. And a mistake is to decrease your prices so that the prices will work for everybody. So you end up with commoditized prices for people who have wealth, in addition to people who have income challenges. And so if you can set in your mind to keep your prices premium to go with your premium product, but use these programs to support people, it's better.
Got you. Okay. Also, I apologize, I didn't double check and let you know about the presentation at the beginning. I wasn't showing. That was my bad.
Sorry, I hope it was fine for people to follow.
Yeah. All right, well, you can link your email or something maybe there if anyone has any other questions later on about anything.
Should be in the chat.
All right, awesome.
I'm looking if anybody's it would be interesting to know who's are there it would be interesting to know how many producers are on the line, and if you are not a producer and you're working in some other area of the local food systems or ag. And I would love to talk with collaborate with people basically.
Yeah.
PJ, did you have a question? I think she, or yeah.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll just unmute myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm not always really good with the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm PJ Bergen with Soil Sangre de Cristo. I hope you can see me. I'm on my
I can, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm with Soil Sangre de Cristo based in Salida, and we support farmers and ranchers with no interest loans. And all of our funding comes from community members who become investors in organization. And Heidi, I just want to compliment you on your presentation, everything that you said through your marketing tools and your suggestions, I think is highly valuable. So thank you so much for being here today. It was fantastic.
Oh, good.
And I learned a lot too, even though I'm not a producer or a farmer. Those are my customers who we work with on a day-to-day basis, and helping them be supported for success.
Yeah.
And the interest we've had in our organization has been overwhelming, especially since last year with COVID and people wanting more and more locally produced foods, and knowing how important it is to have our local producers.
Yeah.
So your information today has been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your work. And if you if you want to partner in any way, I would be happy to give presentations for the people that you serve or share.
Thank you. I've already thought about that, and I have your email address, and I'll be in touch soon. That'd be great. We host a monthly speaker series, and so I'll be in touch about that in the next week.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Heidi.
Thanks.
Oh, and Taryn said that Double Up Food Bucks was implemented here in Durango. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I love that. I love that program, because we've had, I think Wendy was talking about this. We've had this, if you are economically challenged, you get to have health challenges because you can't afford good food. Mm-hmm. It's really horrible. So I think that addresses that.
Yeah. Yeah, as an AmeriCorps member, I actually qualify for EBT. So I guess I could take my EV to the farm.
Yeah, which is
so that's
amazing.
Exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a better use of it than probably the grocery store. Yeah, because grocery stores don't have Double Up.
Yeah, true. So farmers market is where it's at.
Yeah.
And Nancy is also a producer and has been working hard on marketing. Same with Pony Sweet Pea Farm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, let me know if I can help. I can help you walk through, speed up things for you, basically, if you want. It helps me to talk with farmers because I learn from you every time I talk with someone. So.
All right, awesome. Well, we have 1 more minute, and then I think we can go back to the session.
Thank you all.
Yes, thank you so much, Heidi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you.